Common Ground began in 2004 when 38 religious, business, and civic leaders collectively raised $700,000 in seed money to create a new type of organization, an organization of organizations, with the mission of building power for the common good. On April 13, 2008, 2,328 people from southeastern Wisconsin came together to launch Common Ground. This is their story.
My name is Reverend Bobby Sinclair. I am the pastor of Mount Hermon Baptist Church in Milwaukee.
My name is Jody Lidke. I'm a member of St. Luke's Lutheran Church in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
All right.
Today we will accomplish the following things. We will share our vision for southeastern Wisconsin. We will explain who we are as Common Ground and why we're organizing. We will vote on founding Common Ground. We will hear from powerful leaders in this region. And lastly, we will introduce to you some tangible next steps.
Common Ground exists to address Greater Milwaukee's critical social issues in an effective, nonpartisan way. Common Ground leaders spent their first year listening to over 1,400 people discuss their concerns about jobs, healthcare, and crime.
Over the summer, when we met together in these listening sessions, we heard hundreds of stories. We created relationships and friendships. These stories revealed people's deepest struggles and their greatest hopes and served to bind us together with a new vision for this area. Well, what do we want to do? We want to experience the American dream of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We want our children to attend schools that consistently excel. We want our neighborhoods to be safe. We want the next generation to have jobs that they can live off of. But instead of hearing it secondhand, I'll let you hear from 3 individuals here with me today.
Humbling employment numbers aren't just statistics either. They stand for real lives, real people, people who are a member of my congregation. I'm thinking, for example, of a gentleman from my parish, a real hardworking, honest, decent guy, a great father, and he always took pride in being a good provider for his family. And you know, he had to be, because he had 4 kids in college at the same time with one down the line. But then something happened, and his company downsized, and he lost his job. Now, I saw him not too long ago. He was in one of those big box retail stores, and he wasn't shopping. He was working. Now, there's nothing wrong with working in those big retail stores, but they don't pay so well, certainly not well enough to support kids in college. But there he was, working a late shift, stocking shelves. There's a part of me that wanted to stop and say hello, but I couldn't bring myself to do that. So when he looked up from his task, I darted behind some shelves so he wouldn't see me. See, I didn't want him to see my tears. I'm here today with close to 250 members of my congregation in support of that man and others like him. I believe that Southeastern Wisconsin Common Ground can do something to help them and others like them. Together, we can make a difference.
I'm concerned about health care. In fact, it makes me downright angry to think that nearly 5 people die each week right here in Wisconsin because they have no health insurance or inadequate coverage. My granddaughter, Tatiana, was almost one of those. This beautiful, artistic 11-year-old came home from school one day with a stomachache. Well, it was flu season, so the family wasn't too concerned. But the stomachache got worse that night, and even worse the next day. As the evening of the second day wore on, and more pain, my daughter she agonized. What should she do? If she took Tatiana to the emergency room, it would cost $500 out of pocket, because her husband's small business can only afford a $4,000 deductible. And for her family, that feels like catastrophic health insurance. Well, they thought maybe if they would just sit with her through the night, she'd be okay through the night, and they'd get her into the doctor the next morning. Well, that's what they chose. The economy was hitting the family hard, and Tatiana's a fighter. The next morning found them rushing to Children's Hospital by ambulance, where an emergency operation revealed a ruptured appendix. It took 21 days, 2 surgeries, numerous ultrasound procedures, a violent allergic reaction to medication, 7 collapsed IVs, and a blood clot in a PICC line before the doctors could send my granddaughter home. It's been 9 weeks and counting for daily shots that her mother gives her to break down that clot. Now, would the appendix have ruptured if they had gone to the emergency room? We'll never know. But what I do know is that I'm angry that a community of children and families has to be afraid to get help. And that's why I'm part of the effort to build common ground.